Tonight, we celebrate a legend, a true titan, a pace setter in the marketing and communication sector, the late Ashiwaju John Ajayi, publisher, founder, chief executive officer, Marketing Edge. Tonight, as people gather for the night of tributes, it's not to mourn, but to celebrate the impact of a man who has touched the sector and industry in many ways that should be celebrated.
I've had to move from the level of wishing that I was just hallucinating to the level of wishing that I was just having a bad dream from which I would wake. Even as we are here tonight, I am still wishing that my boss, Ashiwaju John Ajayi, was just playing a trick on all of us, and that he would just appear and announce that he was just testing us all this while to see how we will respond to the news of his demise. Alas, with this event, the reality is becoming more real. It's quite sobering. But then, we all are always mindful of the fact that as humans, our existence on this terrestrial plane is only in the hands of the Almighty God, the author of life. This occasion, therefore, offers us a moment of collective reflection. We, as a company, and the broader marketing communications industry, it provides us with an opportunity to celebrate the remarkable professional journey and enduring legacy of a man who dedicated his life to shaping and elevating this industry. Mr. Ajayi, as we all acknowledge, was a pioneer and a pathfinder whose vision transformed Marketing Edge and its sister company Media Edge from being mere bold ideas into becoming leading brands in integrated marketing communications ecosystem in our climb and far beyond. By dint of hard work, focus, determination, doggedness, and ruggedness, John Ajayi built these companies into a multi-channel platform that has consistently championed excellence, innovation, and thought leadership. Under his guidance, Marketing Edge magazine in particular, as well as Marketing Edge online and Marketing Edge on TV, became not just media platforms, but veritable and very strong voices of authority and credibility within the industry. Also, the annual 2-in-1 event, to wit the National Marketing Stakeholders Summit and the Marketing Edge Awards of Excellence, which was recently rechristened Edge Awards, have also in the last 13 years evolved into a unique brand and to an annual event which the entire industry looks forward to. Through his strategic foresight, tireless commitment, and passion for professional advancement, John Ajayi inspired a new generation of practitioners and provided a bridge between brands, agencies, regulators, and the media. His work reflected a deep conviction that marketing communication is not merely about promotion, but about purpose, integrity, and impact. As we pay tributes to his life and contributions, we also reaffirm our commitment to sustaining, brightening, and broadening his vision. The Marketing Edge and Media Edge Group remains dedicated to upholding the standards of professionalism, creativity, and industry leadership that Mr. John Ajayi championed for over 2 decades. We will continue to innovate, to expand our platforms, and to create value for all our stakeholders, ensuring that the Marketing Edge and Media Edge brands continue to thrive as a living testament to his vision and values. We are deeply grateful to all our leaders, our partners, industry associates, friends who have joined us this evening. Your presence is a reflection of the profound respect and admiration that Mr. Ajayi earned throughout his illustrious life and career. On behalf of the entire management and media edge of Marketing Edge and Media Edge family, I say thank you for standing with us at such a time like this and for honoring his memory in such a meaningful way as you have done tonight. It is our confidence that even after tonight, we shall continue to enjoy your support into a far distant future that will span generations, as the Almighty God continues to bless, prosper, and promote your individual family, and corporate lives. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you're warmly welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, please can you details there for Mr. Amos Oladele, CEO of Media Edge. Thank you. As many that are very close to Ajayi, we know he's a pathfinder, he's a trailblazer when it comes to marketing, communication, and of course in journalism as well. He's someone that has given value and has given the
live on YouTube, so please spread the word to our industry colleagues, friends, and associates who can't make it. They can follow us live on YouTube on the Marketing Edge page. Please help spread the word. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And on that note, we'd like to give a warm applause as we welcome Vicky Ajayi for a message from the family. Please arrive with us with Vicky Ajayi.
Vicky Ajayi is the first daughter of Ajayi John Ajayi.
Good evening, distinguished leaders of the Nigerian marketing communications industry, esteemed guests, friends, and colleagues. On behalf of the Ajayi family of Ijo Ekiti State, I extend our deepest gratitude to everyone gathered here tonight to honor the life, legacy, and enduring impact of our beloved father, brother, son, and friend, Asiwaju John Tolulope Ajayi. It's already a fact to which history will attest that John Ajayi was more than a founder, publisher, and CEO of Marketing Edge and Media Edge. He was a visionary who believed passionately in the power of ideas, integrity, and the Nigerian marketing communications industry. He found purpose in telling the industry stories, celebrating excellence, and creating a platform that united professionals across disciplines. Most of us, if not all, know that he has invested over 3 decades of his life in the journalism profession, which he practiced with infectious passion, unquenchable thirst, very sharp focus, and courage, unparalleled determination, doggedness, and dignity. His brutal courage portrayed into the media. His brutal courage portrayed into the media entrepreneurship resulted in the founding of Marketing Edge and Media Edge, both of which have, by your support, become thriving and impactful platforms today. To us in the family, this outpour of love, respect, and remembrance that we are witnessing here today, tonight, affirms what he stood for and how profoundly he touched lives, professionally and personally. The tribute which we all will be sharing today, very soon, your individual and collective presence and solidarity shown here tonight means more to the family than words can fully express. As we remember him, we take comfort in knowing that his vision lives on through Marketing Edge and Media Edge, through the industry which he so deeply loved, which he so deeply invested in, and so selflessly served, and through the many people he inspired. On behalf of the family, I would like to assure the entire industry that we shall do everything in our power to support and encourage the Marketing Edge and Media Edge team, which he has built and in whose hands he has left the group of companies to keep their eyes on the ball, thereby ensuring that the vision and mission continues to get fulfilled further and further, and to ensure that both the team and the family do not let the industry down in any way and at any point in time, both now and in the future, and even generations to come. Thank you all once again for honoring the memory of my father, John Tolulope Ajayi. May his legacy continue to guide and inspire us all. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bukola. Thank you for being a strong girl at such a time as this. And thank you because we know that you will be strong for your mom and for your siblings.
Please, this is the moment that we are going to pay the last respect, at least to the industry, and I will crave our indulgence to stand up and give a 1 minute silence to the memory of Chief John Tolulogbe Ajayi. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Well, I never expected myself to stand before distinguished industry people to do this. This is more of what Cassius did to the memory of Brutus in Julius Caesar. Because we did the same thing. We were all practicing journalists in the industry before I joined him to work on the Marketing Edge brand. I've always been just in my little corner, doing a lot of writings, private writings for him and all of that. And some of the writings I did in the past is what I've actually collated to form his biography, including the things he told me privately. So this is in memory of Chief John Tolulogbe Ajayi, a legacy journalist and a consummate professional, because he wasn't just a journalist. He was a PR professional, he was a marketing professional, he was a 360 degrees communication person. Why man? He doth bestride the narrow world. That's the word of Cassius to Brutus in Julius Caesar's Shakespeare. We are gathered at this crepuscular moment to pay tribute and bid farewell to a man who in his indefatigable mold bestrode the Nigerian brand journalism landscape like a colossus with innovative and brilliant ideas. We are gathered not necessarily to mourn, but to take stock and appreciate a dominant personage whose legacy immensely contributed in shaping the entire field of integrated marketing communication industry through his vision and practice. We are gathered to examine and bear witness to how he rose, what drove him, and to also share stories and anecdotes that reveal much about not just his ambition, but human ambition, destiny, resilience, and the human spirit. Born on 12 June 1963 in Ijon, Ekiti State, southwest Nigeria, and joined his ancestors on December 10, 2025. Chief John Tolulogbe Ajayi, the Ajayi of Ijon, Ekiti, known for his visionary and highly focused brand journalism, marketing, public relations acumen, grew up in a value-driven home. He was a devout Catholic who maintained strong ties to his faith throughout his life. He attended St. James Catholic Primary School, Ijon, Ekiti, before proceeding to Ijebu-Ode Comprehensive Grammar School as part of its pioneering set. He graduated from the prestigious University of Lagos with a degree in English language. In his quest for more knowledge and to prepare for future endeavors, he obtained a postgraduate diploma in journalism and later a master's degree in political science, all from the same university. A consummate professional, as I said earlier, Chief Ajayi worked with prominent media firms in Nigeria, particularly the print media, distinguishing himself as a sought-after journalist, covering the wide spectrum of business news and briefly the political desk at the News magazine, This Day, and the Comet newspapers, amongst others. Meritoriously celebrated as an investigative journalist, Chief Ajayi was known for delivering breaking news and top exclusives that positively lifted the profession in the annals of Nigerian journalism. In his drive to move beyond the established mark and do something extraordinary, Chief Ajayi took a very bold and surprising decision in 2003 that stunned industry watchers and even his own family. He left his appointment at the Comet and established Marketing Edge. The focused publication's objective, as envisioned and molded by Chief Ajayi, was simply promoting the brand idea, affording practitioners in the IMC sector the opportunity to embrace and identify with a publication that solely deals with industry happenings, which has metamorphosed into a multi-channel media group that cuts across print, online, broadcast, and out of home, and with a subsidiary, Media Edge, that is into 360-degree marketing communications offerings. In further pursuit of the vision, Chief Ajayi in 2013 signposted the 10th anniversary of the company with the flag of an annual two-in-one event, the National Marketing Stakeholders Summit, and the Brand and Advertising Excellence Award, now known as Edge Awards. An event which, on the one hand, galvanizes the industry to brainstorm on contemporary and topical issues in an effort to extend the frontiers of knowledge in the business of brand management and the management of brand business, as well as provide the environment for stakeholder engagement to chart the way forward. The World's event, on the other hand, is a platform that honors outstanding products, corporate, institutional, and personality brands across marketing, communication, and other sectors. The two-in-one event has since grown to become another best-setting and touch-bearing initiative, which, over the last 12 editions, has enjoyed a consistent rise in profile and equity, both locally and internationally. It is no secret that the magazine and indeed the print media industry have had to cope with some significant changes in recent years, despite the shrinking of the sprawling lattice of the newsroom and the extinction of several publications in the Nigerian media landscape, too numerous to mention. Chief Ajayi, as a publisher, continued during his lifetime to strategically and creatively navigate the media ecosystem with exceptional courage, innovation, and creativity. the fact that Marketing Edge is riding high and still enjoying great success while holding a strategic place in the hearts of IMC stakeholders, Nigerians, and the world is a testament to this assertion. In 2017, Chief Ajayi was inducted into the Nigerian Guild of Editors, an umbrella body for Nigerian top editors and media elite. In 2022, the Nigerian Union of Journalists and Brand Journalists Association of Nigeria recognized and honored him for his immeasurable contribution to the journalism profession, while the Belgian conferred him with Industry Torchbearer Brand Journalism Award in recognition of his pioneering credentials. The NUJ added more feathers to his cap with a milestone recognition as one of the media icons in Nigeria. Chief Ajayi was bestowed with the honor at an event where the governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, was the chief host / guest speaker. Other veteran journalists who were conferred with the NUJ Media Icon Award included Mr. Bayo Onanuga and Chief Segun Oshola. It must be recalled that the earlier days of this veteran journalist and workaholic, I emphasize on the word workaholic, anybody who knows Mr. Ajayi can attest to this word, we're not a bed of roses, but tough and tedious. In all modesty, it is pertinent to attribute the phenomenal growth of Marketing Edge as the IMC industry, Nigerians and indeed the world know it today, to determination, passion, and doggedness. Simply put, Marketing Edge is a story of Chief Ajayi's audacity, a man who braved all the odds to prove naysayers wrong, who thought that the enterprise would collapse within 1 year. He shared this very privately with me. Having played a fundamental role in redefining brand journalism, a novel genre of journalism at the time, John Ajayi, as he was fondly known in some circles, especially within the journalism circle, will forever be remembered as one of the co-pioneers in the annals of brand journalism practice in Nigeria. In 22 years of establishing Marketing Edge before his passing, Chief Ajayi, a fellow of the National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria, developed the publication as the authoritative source of news, events, and happenings in the IMC sector. As far as Asiwaju of Ijan Ekiti was concerned, the Marketing Edge vision remained very great as the water lily by the riverbank. And I pledge on behalf of the Marketing Edge and Media Edge team today, this evening, to uphold his enduring legacy. The professional success story of Chief Ajayi will be incomplete without mentioning his former boss and publisher of this day, Prince Ndoka Obaigbena, a genius, innovator, and avant-garde creator. It is worthy of note that Mr. Obaigbena gave John and his other colleagues, particularly Mr. Akin Adeoye, the publisher of M2, and my own former boss, enough space to try out their new ideas, which worked and are still working. In the words of Khalil Gibran, the esteemed philosopher and poet, and I quote, "You would know the secret of death, but how shall you find it unless you seek it in the heart of life?" Of quote. Suffice it to say that Chief Ajayi beheld the spirit of death by opening his heart and arms wide onto the body of life, consistently working his fingers to the bone. As a brand journalism profession, he revered, referenced, and even created opportunities where little or none existed. As his family, friends, and the marketing communication industry navigate the landscape of human emotion, grief, and solace. As a result of his passing, I call upon all mourners gathered here this evening to end their grief, because John has become one with nature and eternity. We originally came into this world naked and without cares, and there is no need to take anything away with us, even if one won't be able to do so. More importantly, Chief Ajayi's earthly sojourn demonstrated that life isn't just lived, it's interrogated, it's explored, it's wrestled with. The life of John will continue to remind us that consistent and creative effort is the last rebellion against inertia and inaction. And as long as consistent and innovative effort survives, life will resist stagnation and continue to improve. Fare thee well, John Ajayi. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please can we keep the applause going for Mr. Watt? If tributes could bring people back to life, John may just speak up. Thank you very much, Ralph. You've done a good job documenting your journey with Asiwaju John Ajayi. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just a little appeal before we get to that item on the program. Yep. Right after the exhortation, we're going to invite people for a long list of people to pay tributes to John Ajayi. We kindly appeal and beg and plead that you please keep it to 2 minutes. We'll be going from the left to the right, and from the right to the left, and from the front to the back, and from the back to the front. Please begin to edit your thoughts down so that you can keep it to 2 minutes each. We understand that many of us have known him for decades, and it will be very difficult to keep it to 2 minutes, but we kindly beg and appeal that we do so. Also, for our online guests, thank you very much for joining. For those just coming in, you're also welcome. For those that are online, I believe at the point the family will check the comment section, so you can also leave your tributes in the chat box. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to, just for a few minutes, hear from the man of God to give us an exaltation for why we're here. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome once again Reverend Father Michael to come forward for a brief exaltation. Please give him a round of applause.
Good evening, everybody. Please answer. I know our hearts are heavy, but our mouths are not heavy. Am I right? My word of exhortation will be coming from the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 25, verse 40. Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 25, verse 40. For those who know and can sing the song, whatsoever you do to the least of my brothers, that you do unto me. When I was hungry, you gave me to eat. When I was thirsty, you gave me to drink. Now of Matthew's Gospel summarizes the life of John Ajayi. When I was hungry, when I was thirsty, when I was naked, homeless, he will always attend to the need of others. John Ajayi today is found in that song. John Ajayi today is a great example, not was, remains a great example of that particular song. John Ajayi lived a life, seeing whoever not smiling, he will never pass by without putting smile on their faces. The problem or the challenge and challenges of the other person will always become his own. John Ajayi lived that life of that song we just rendered. And that is a life that we have seen practical action linked with faith. John Ajayi remains an icon as far as human history is concerned. And so we are here to also console ourselves. John Ajayi lives on. For those who are faithful, life is changed, not ended. Death is a transition. He has gone before us. He has lived his life. He has gotten to his own bus stop. He has alighted from the car. We are on the journey. The death of John Ajayi and his life should teach us so many lessons. It's not a moment for us to cry. It's not a moment for us to be weary. It's a moment of consolation. It's a moment of joy. I read through the tribute. We have the condolence register. So many names, so many titles, so many litanies from so many people. We have all preached because John Ajayi lived that life of homiletic. He offered himself to humanity. He offered everything. First, to the family. Second, to the entire human race. We have come to pray that God will grant him eternal rest. We have come to say thank you to God, because from among us and all we have written, all we shall be testifying, God has called back the best to himself. We must begin to learn. We must begin to appreciate the value of humanity. We must begin to live our lives as sons and daughters of God, knowing fully well that we have come into this world with nothing, and we must definitely leave this world with nothing. We came with nothing. John will bury it on Friday. By God's grace, the same God will grant Johnny mercy. We are going to see the resources that will go down into the grave with John. Nothing. Nothing. John will go into the grave. Will do dust. Emotions will be high. Eyes will be filled with water. But all of this will not bring John back. All of this, with our prayers, will open the gate of heaven for him. So brothers and sisters, we thank God for his life. Thank God for the family. We thank God for friends. We thank God for the institution, Marketing and Media Edge. Our mother, may God console you. May God uphold you. The values in the Gospel of St. Matthew 25:40 that your husband lived out will surely work for you. The children, brothers and sisters, may God keep us. Those who are working with him, those who have known him, friends and relatives, whoever come here on account of John, may God bless you. May God also clothe you. May God give you something to eat and drink. And above all, may God satisfy your needs. The passing of John, no doubt, will affect even unborn generation. But we have our consolation in God. We have our hope in him, that he will restore our hope. He will console us. We grant us the grace to cope with this reality that is becoming real through Christ our Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and let's go ahead and for Reverend Father Michael. Thank you very much for this good word. Death is not the end. Earth is just a bus stop for the final destination. And it's my prayer that the Lord shall grant every one of us long life in Jesus' name.
Thank you very much once again, sir. All right. The moment we've been waiting for, the reason why we are gathered this evening. The first set of tributes will come from Mr. Udeme Ufot, Mr. Larry Adisa, and Dr. Olaleko Fadolapo. Mr. Udeme Ufot is the Group Managing Director of SONU and the past president of AAA. Mr. Ufot, please.
Good evening, everyone. I stand before you with a very heavy heart, very sad at the demise of a very good man, a professional to the core. And when I say a very good man, Chief Ajayi's goodness started from the home front. So I will take a slight digression to acknowledge Mrs. Ajayi, who I know from the number of outings whenever we attended these marketing edge functions, the level of support she consistently gave to John. Is there a round of applause for her? If there was ever the story that behind or beside every successful man, there is a woman, Mrs. Ajayi was a clear example, a very powerful testimony of that. And before I put it to my 2-minute task of acknowledging our deceased friend, let me please continue to thank Ms. Ajayi for the support and pray that God will strengthen her and the children, embolden her to go through the rough path that this must cause her. Madam, thank you so much for supporting our friend. It would not have been the same without you. We know that. Thank you. God bless you. I said John was a good man, but John was also a very loyal friend. John was the kind of journalist who would come to you and you would have the confidence to spill your guts, knowing that what you told him in confidence would remain in confidence. He was professional, and despite how good he was, what he had achieved, one thing stood him out. John was a very humble personality. Sometimes in sheer humility would seemingly cast some doubts on the level he had attained as a journalist, the honors he had received. But that was John. As we hear in Yoruba land, John was a true Omoluabi, because it showed in everything that he did. You know, when he came to you, you need to get something done, the way John would approach you, if you could not say yes, it was so painful to you, because he had a way, he had a touch. But beyond these personal elements, let us go to the industry. I did not know that John was truly an Ashiwaju. I did not know. But I always called him the Ajayi. Because at a time that many people knew little or nothing about marketing communications, it was the work of John Ajayi and his predecessor in this day, Ajayi, that opened people's minds as to marketing communications in Nigeria. It was through their work those days in this day that some of the clients we had in our early days in S1U would begin to talk about advertising. And so issues in the industry would become topical. You know, and you would have the time and say, Udeme, I read this about you last week. Why weren't you mentioned in this other matter? The work that these guys did raised the level of our industry. And I believe all of us seated here, especially those of us in marketing comms, should please rise up. Please, I beg you, rise up. And let's give a continuous round of applause for this great gentleman who did so much for us. Louder, please, louder, 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 louder. Thank you. Marketing Edge was simply an extension of what he was doing. And what he started in this day, he took to new levels in Marketing Edge, taking his delivery to a 360 degrees offering, both on electronic, online, and the full works. We will miss him. We will miss his kindness. We miss his professionalism. We miss those supports he gave to the industry. God bless his soul. God rest his soul. And console all of us. And help us to fill this vacuum that will be difficult to fill. Because I will tell you, there are not many men like John Ajayi. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please can we say very much? That was exactly 2 minutes. And every other person is going to keep it to 2 minutes. Thank you very much, Mr. Very concise. Exactly 120 seconds. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we'd like to recognize, welcome Editorial Edge present. We'll be recognizing you using the committee of information to greet everybody. Thank you very much on behalf of the family. We just like to keep it that way. But we want you to know that we see you. Thank you very much for coming, and for those online. Without wasting much of our time, I'm proceeding to the next 2 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, please we'd like to welcome the DG of ACON, that is Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria. Please right after him, Mr. Larry Abisa, the President of Chicago, will speak.
Good evening, everyone. This is a very difficult time for the advertising industry in Nigeria. I will want to commiserate to the family of Chief John Ajayi. For me personally, I've known him for over 2 decades. My days in AAA when I was a young accountant in the industry, and he was writing about advertising, AAA, AAP, AGM, and at the time he was more like a consultant to AAPN, because then Chief Odofabeju was always consulting with you. We need to have our position on industry issue, we need to have our position on national issues and things like that. And when he left this day to set up Marketing Edge, he has built so much equity and relevance in the industry that I have had to talk to few people that this is not, because it is not like he was ill. It was not like he has been out of circulation for a long time. Everything just happened suddenly. I woke up around 6 a.m. and I got a message. Please call me. I said, what is happening? He said, it is unconfirmed, but he's ill. And few hours after, he's gone. He's living a huge vacuum. I have spoken to the Chief Operating Officer, because at this time, beyond prayer, we also need to be deliberate about supporting Marketing Edge. To the extent that this vacuum, we need to see how we can wrap things around it. It's huge. It is not something we envisage. Nobody looked at him and said, this man, we were together at the last award. We were all dancing. And he's gone. As a budget fighter and an icon, I am aware of several fights that he has had to take on because of his position, his conviction, and the need to ensure things are properly done. We are going to miss him. We are going to miss him. He's a great loss to the advertising industry. I know it's also a great loss to the family, because they are also not expecting. Nobody saw it coming. I pray that God will be with the family. He will console you. And for every little thing he is not there to do, God will stand up for you. He will be with you. He will stand with you. And for the industry, we will continue to remember the family in prayer, and we will continue to support Marketing Edge. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, DG Akon, Dr. Olalekan Fabolapo. Dr. Fabolapo used just 1.5 minutes, and we ask that every other person keep it to 1.5 minutes. Yes, we have set the pace. Yes, so I trust others will follow. You followed what Mr. Odemowo did. He spent 2 minutes, and you have spent 1.5. I'm sure the next person will spend just 61 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, the founder of Noah's Ark and president of AAAN, Mr. Larry Adisa. Thank you very much. After Mr. Adisa, we'll be having the provost of NIG, Mr. Gbenga Adifai.
Good evening, everyone. My heartfelt commiseration for the family, Mrs. Ajayi, and the entire family. May God comfort you and strengthen you. Speaking on behalf of not just AAAN but HASG, because our late friend was a big player in our industry. When we speak about John Ajayi, we're not just remembering a publisher. We're remembering a man who believed deeply and stubbornly. If you knew John, you would know that the marketing communication industry mattered. John did not see advertising and marketing as just business. He saw them as culture, as nation building, as something worth documenting, protecting, and growing. That belief is what powered Marketing Edge. Remember what they said about what he says is the idea of the power of the idea of marketing or something. In a country where so much goes undocumented, unrecorded, John chose to become our archivist. He showed up week after week, year after year, capturing campaigns, profiling agencies, tracking brands, and telling the story of our industry when very few people were paying any attention. By doing that, he gave this ecosystem something priceless: visibility and legitimacy. Young professionals felt seen, agencies felt counted, brands felt understood. And John did all this with rare independence and uncommon doggedness. He was not a mouthpiece. He was not driven by favor. He was driven by standards, by truth, and by a fierce desire to see this industry grow. Even when publishing was tough, even when it was not fashionable, as we know, how many times do we buy newspapers and magazines these days? Even when the economy was really tough and rough, John stayed the course. He kept building platforms. He moved from just magazine. He went on to the awards, which he called the Edge eventually. Conversations online and on TV, not just for himself, but for continuity. Because he understood that an industry that is not recorded can be easily forgotten. Today, as Nigeria's marketing and creative economy steps into the global stage, we must see this clearly. John Ajayi, or John Omo Ajayi, like he was fondly called in some circles, played a big role in making that possible. He deserves a round of applause for that. He made sure there was a story to tell, a history to stand on, a mirror for us to improve. So this evening, we don't just mourn a man, we honor a mission. And that mission now belongs to all of us here gathered. May this passion that he lived for live on in the work that you all do and that I do as well. May God grant his family, the Marketing Edge team, and all of us, his industry friends, the strength to carry on from where he stopped. Good night, John. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please allow me applause for the MDC of John's Arc. Thank you, Mr. Larry Adisa. John Ajayi is an old boy of the This Day family, as we have all heard. And tonight, the family is paying a tribute to him. We have the president of the This Day Alumni Association, represented by Shino Badaro. Can we please have Mr. Badaro to pay tribute to John Ajayi from past and present staff of This Day. Please a round of applause for Mr. Shino Badaro. Thank you very much.
Let me stand solidly on the very well-established protocol to say that I stand before you all today representing Dr. Tony Oyima and the This Day Alumni Association family of over 250 members, residents in Nigeria, across Africa, across Europe, and across the Americas. John was not just a member of what we call the This Day Alumni family. He's a member, I cringe referring to him in the past, because not a while ago, we were all there in good numbers to turn up for his 60th birthday at Arepo. John was up to date in terms of his commitment and obligation to the This Day Alumni family. But more importantly, while looking at the program of tributes today, I saw a reference that caught my attention. It was referred to as a legacy journalist. That's a very powerful and profound and impactful reference. And I'll try to frame that as much as I understand it. Everybody in this room, particularly the people who are journalists, whether retired or still practicing, know that the newsroom where John displayed exceptional and stellar performance is a jungle. The newsroom of This Day is an exceptional jungle. It is where, whether there is earthquake or whatever could happen, tomorrow's newspaper must show up at the newsstands. And those days, to frame the context of the legacy journalist, those days we wrote on ad paper with something called off court. I'm sure it's just a few people today that can put in context what I'm referring to. I see a very great man who also had a very stellar commitment in terms of the reportage of the marketing communication industry, Mr. Akin Adeoya, who is also a member of the This Day alumni family. So all of them in those spectacular years that we were members of the This Day alumni family displayed exceptional competence, exceptional performance. But more importantly today, it is significant seeing that the gentleman that started in that off-court era, where we wrote on ad paper before transmitting into the computer era, has today created a 360 multimedia platform across print, digital, web, TV, and all of the other formats that you can possibly imagine. And I think the family should take solace that that is an impactful contribution to not just the world of marketing communication, but the world of journalism in Nigeria, across Africa, and beyond. I'll quickly round up by reading just 2 paragraphs out of the letter that This Day alumni family, just 2 paragraphs. I will ensure that I stay within the limit of those 2 minutes that you have assigned me. I have before me the president of the This Day Alumni Association conveys his tribute and says that I should tell you that on behalf of the This Day alumni family, we received the news of the passing of John. But more importantly, during his years at This Day, Mr. Ajayi distinguished himself as a gifted, committed journalist, serving with excellence as a staff writer, and later, which is what most of you may never remember about him, and later as State House correspondent, he brought intelligence, diligence, and uncommon depth to every assignment entrusted to him. His initiative anchoring the media page reflected his foresight, passion for elevating professional standard, qualities that later define his entrepreneurial journey. We remain immensely proud of that part of his remarkable professional formation was nurtured within the This Day newsroom. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Please give me a round of applause. Very good, Mr. Butter. I now invite the past president of Nigeria Guild of Editors and provost of the NIJ, Mr. Gbenga Adifai. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Again, like others before me, I want to stand on the existing protocol. I've seen Madam at home. I will see her again. God will be with you and the family. Well, I believe this is an industry tribute session. Incidentally, I wasn't in the marketing communication part of it, so when all of you stood up, I didn't. But John was my colleague, was a fellow journalist. I've been a journalist all my life. It's going to about 41 years now. So I knew John. But I knew John beyond the newsroom. John was my neighbor. We lived together in Barebo. It was more than that. Edward Abilu and I were the first leaders of the Journalist Resident Association. John succeeded us after there was a little interregnum. But more than that was that Father Michael is there. I
don't know whether he has missed me. But John and I were co-parishioners, and that is where I want to speak from. Because on about 2 or 3 occasions, I had opportunity to be the chairman of the Harvest Committee. And what was remarkable about those occasions was, I would say when they mentioned to me, I said, look, the kind of person I am, I'm hardly available. I'm on the road almost every weekend, just not available. John would say, Oga, no, he called me chairman. I said, chairman, don't you worry. Maybe you will come back Sunday afternoon after your trip, even if we have finished the mass. As your deputy chairman, whatever we need to get done, we will get done. All we want you to do is just to show leadership. And that is, again, a major attribute of John. He was an activist for excellence. Activist for excellence. Once he set his mind to it, whatever it takes, whatever time, whatever resources required, John will put into it. Professionally, I recall his commitment to always drawing the line between what is ethical practice and business that you must do. And that is a very good mix for him, because having been a journalist who now went into marketing communication, there could be a conflict. Where do you draw the line? The John will tell you, no, we draw the line this way and that way. And I must say, to his credit, if you get to the library of the NIJ where I retired into, his journals, Marketing Edge, are those you are going to find not just in the library, but are resource material for the people teaching marketing communication. I would like to say finally that we all miss John for his honesty, for his drive, for his passion. But he has done very well. He has a name. He has a name that is eternal. I saw Amos speaking here. Amos used to be my colleague. Our prayer is that the team left behind will be able to sustain the dream. Good night, John.
Thank you very much. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you. Almost NIJ. Retired into NIJ. When you retire from NIJ, I'll be happy to retire into NIJ. Thank you very much, Mr. He's actually retired, but not how can you retire into NIJ? That's a good way to retire, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Next, we'd like to invite the past president of AAAN as well, and MD of Lady Bird Advertising. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Bumi. Okay, please put your hands together for her. Just 2 minutes. We trust her. She's the first woman to speak. Madam, speak for as long as you like.
Good evening. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, everybody. Industry leaders, to everyone that is here. First, it's a privilege and honor to be called to speak. And what I would just say about the reason why I found it so important to be here today is the excellence for which John Ajayi stood for. I had known him from when I started my career in LTC. He used to come, then I was a media and client service person, and I used to meet him from This Day magazines. That's how we started. But more importantly, as the years went by, what really astonished me about Mr. Ajayi and his team was the excellence with which he did his job, the way he pursued details, and he also gave a lot of us professional leverage by telling our stories. I know that half of my story was known because of This Day, as well as Marketing Edge and John Ajayi. So please clap for him. But more importantly, was the accuracy of the storytelling. That was what really marveled me. Nobody could come up and say, no, what he printed was either in favor of somebody or was inaccurate or was an exaggeration. You couldn't buy his pen, his signature. It was what he believed in that he printed it. So therefore, when he went on to do awards, what I found so humbling about him is that he would call me personally, send the invitation. There was never a time I even sent a message. He would respond. I mean, he was that detailed. When you have somebody that does that, like our board of trustees of Jubilee said, you don't get many people like that anymore. So I think there should be a master class on the legendary skills and knowledge that Mr. John Ajayi has led. So I think you should put that, honestly. Let's have a masterclass series on the legacy of Marketing Edge, and I'm sure it will only go bigger and better. And I'll be more than happy to be a spokesperson there. So I'll rest my case here now. Thank you, John, for the great job. Auntie, the children, which we got to meet because of Martin, God will be with you. Have no fear. The God who started all things will perfect all things in Jesus' name. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's celebrate. Thank you. Back to back, we'll be taking another woman. Sorry, it wasn't planned, it was just while we were writing. So, and we know Ajayi likes to write balanced stories like you said. So, ladies and gentlemen, coming up again, please let me welcome the president of X-Man, EXMAN. Please put your hands together for Mrs. Tolulope with a very round of applause for her.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Speaking about Mr. Ajayi is actually a huge task. I will just refer to one experience that I had with him that was on one-on-one, and like Mrs. Oke said, he was actually everything a lot of people know about who I am or whatever it is subject to marketing edge and all of that. You actually have people calling marketing edge for reference and all of that. But I mean, a lot of things said about Mr. Ajayi, and as a testament to that was, I think, what Mr. Ufot said about his humility. There was an issue that was ongoing in the industry at some point, and there was a lot of back and forth and all of that. And whilst he was doing it, he was doing his reportage without he didn't care whose ox was gored. And he went ahead and did. And there was a point where I had to speak to Mr. Ajayi, and I sat down with him at a table. We were in Abuja for National Advertising Conference, and I said, "Sir, Ejo, let this thing end. Ejo." That was all I said, little me. And we got back to Lagos, and he sent me a message. My phone, when I heard that he passed, my phone spoiled. I had to change my phone. I think that was the only message that hurt me, because he sent me a message to thank me and to say, you know what, let it end. And that was how that issue ended. I know that a lot of people had spoken to him. I know that a lot of people had been speaking to him. But that he even thought to send me a message to say, I think his words were, we have sheathed the sword. You know, Mr. Ajayi can be very flowy with words and all of that. And like I said to his daughters when I saw them, I said, the memory of your father will not die. And I think DG has said it, and I think Mr. Ufot said it. And by the grace of the Almighty, together, we will ensure that Marketing Edge does another 20 plus years. Mr. Ajayi was, I saw you everywhere, like somebody said as well. I saw you at all events, and I was seated there, and behind me, I heard some people saying that, no be today. She has been with him for like forever. They were not talking to me, they were talking to themselves. So, his back is already good. And you want to die. The children will have no reason to fear. They will not fall, they will not fail. You will not fall, you will not fail. They will miss their father. I lost my father as well. But then, when you also remember what your father stood for, you will remember that it is your duty, and the onus lies on you to ensure that his legacy does not die and that his legacy does not fail. Thank you very much.
We'd like to appreciate all our speakers that have been given tribute. Thank you very much for keeping the time. Really, really appreciate it, because we have a long list, and we like to take as many as we can. Ladies and gentlemen, back to back, Vice President Mipan, please help me welcome Mrs. Brenda Nwagu. A round of applause for her.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and my colleagues in the industry. I always prefer to read, so please, it will still be 2 minutes. Some people walk through life focused only on their journey. Mr. John Ajayi walked through life with resilience that was transformative. Through sheer determination and consistency, he opened doors for countless individuals and helped many growing businesses grow, expand, and find their place. His personality could only be described as larger than life, a person whose heart and ambition for those around him knew no bounds. He did not just support ideas, he encouraged people and brands to reach their full potential. Many businesses thriving today can point to his support as a key factor in the opportunities they accessed. On a personal note, this tribute holds special meaning to me. Prior to meeting Mr. Ajayi, my default was avoiding the spotlight, generally being media shy. However, Mr. Ajayi understood the vital importance of telling one's story to drive growth and inspire dreams. Through his influence, many have become bolder, more confident, and more comfortable, owning their space and their voice. Beyond that, for me, he deliberately sent young women to me to mentor, believing not just in my capacity to grow, but in my ability to help others grow. This level of trust and intentionality shaped me deeply through the years, reinforcing my commitment to lifting others, both men and women, as I walk my journey. Mr. Ajayi was incredibly hardworking, driven, and committed to his goals. He was also a true he for she, always ready to help, uplift, support without hesitation. His willingness to show up for others, to guide, to push, and stand in the gap when needed spoke volumes about the kind of man he was. In every sense, Mr. Ajayi's impact went far beyond business. It lives in the confidence instilled in us, the opportunities he created, and the lives he helped shape. If I were to choose three phrases that aptly describe Mr. John Ajayi, or Asiwaju John Ajayi, they would be a builder of people, a lifter of dreams, and a catalyst for growth. Thank you for choosing people every single time, and most of all, thank you for being a mentor and friend to many. To his family, to Marketing Edge, to Media Edge, and the industry at large, may we find comfort in the legacy he has left and the strength in the love. May his noble soul rest in perfect peace.
Thank you very much. So we've devised a means to ensure that everybody keeps to 2 minutes. Once your mic goes off when you're talking, just know that that is a signal. That's a yellow card. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the next speaker is the chairman of NIPR Lagos State Chapter, Dr. Samuel Ajayi. Right after him, we would have Mr. Lekon Otufoduri, the Executive Director of Media Development Network. And right after that, we would have Mr. Mr. Dan Obi, the President of Brand Journalists Association of Nigeria. And next will be Mr. Kelechi Nwosu, MD, TBWA Concept. Can we please have Dr. Samuel Ajayi? You will spend exactly 2 minutes, I know that.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I stand before you this evening on behalf of the over 2,400 registered practitioners of public relations in the Lagos State Chapter to join all of you at this very trying time to commiserate to the family and friends of Asiwaju John Ajayi. I will like to describe him in three ways. Number one is the aspect that talks about what he does sorry, I am still putting it in the present terms. What he did is so difficult to actually put Mr. Ajayi in the past. The things that he did when he was alive as a bridge builder, connecting all of us in this room who are playing different roles in the integrated marketing communications world to add value to brands and the people that we serve, from experiential marketing to public relations to advertising to any arm of the marketing communication world that we think of. You will begin to imagine how John Ajayi managed to have something on the table for everyone. He was indeed a bridge builder. He showed to every one of us what it means to use platforms like the ones he created to make something available to all of us to flourish and to function happily in all the spaces where we found ourselves. Many of those who have come to speak here this evening have spoken about how he gave them exposure. And what this tells me is that I should look towards the direction of Madam and the family and tell you not to worry.
Sorry, it's automated. It's not us. It's not us.
Madam, your husband was an investor throughout his lifetime, investing in the life of many of us who are seated here. And you could hear each one of us coming to say that. I can assure you that now that he's gone, all of them will pay you back, and God Almighty is the one that will pay you the most. You and your children and everyone connected to Mr. John Ajayi will never lack. And we join you at this sober moment to say that all of us in NIPR pray that all will be well with you. You will not know sorrow. All the gap that this seemed to have left, God Almighty will fill it, and we will continue to support you, and the marketing communication industry in Nigeria will continue to flourish. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So if you doubted that the mic will go off when you're talking beyond time, now you know. I'd now like to, sorry, you permit me, we have to change the order. I'd like to invite Mr. Dan Obi, President of Brand Journalists Association of Nigeria. And after that, we'll have Mrs. Adetiba, Vice President Marketing, Amber Energy Drink. Mr. Dan Obi, 120 seconds. Your time starts now.
I think I'm going to spend less than that. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I stand on the existing protocol established by the captains of industry and those who spoke before me. How do I start? A friend told me that if he sees God, one thing he will ask him is to remove death from the earth. I said, wow, but this is a necessary call that all of us has to go. It's unfortunate that John Ajayi is gone. The industry has lost a professional, a gem from the industry. All we have to pray is ask for his soul to rest in perfect peace and give the industry the fortitude and the family the fortitude to bear the loss. And we pray that the legacy has left behind, the marketing age and the media age in industry will continue to thrive, and God will grant them the strength to carry on from where John stopped. Thank you very much, and God bless all of us.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Topper Adetiba, Vice President, Amber Energy Drink, and after her we will have Mr. Lincoln Otto for drink. Thank you. Give us some energy. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm here today, and I'll keep it under 2 minutes. Right. I first met Mr. John Ajayi when I was a young marketing officer at MTN, and he stuck with me because of all the agencies, all the people that walk through the doors. Mr. Ajayi would always accord you the same respect that he were called the CMO or the GM or whoever it was. He was that kind of person. And it only came natural that when it was time to build my own brand, he was top of my head, top of my list. And Mr. Ajayi has been a friend with Amber Drinks Limited since the inception. He's not just your typical person that will, I mean, we didn't just have that client, agency relationship. He was a friend to the brand and a friend to everyone in the company. And he has been with us on this journey right till the very last moment. And he's somebody that I'm so glad that, the president mentioned it first and quite a couple other people mentioned it as well. We have to keep his legacy alive through Marketing Edge, Media Edge, and we at Amber Drinks Limited are definitely going to do that because he means more to us than just work. He's our friend. And to the family, thank you for blessing this world with, your rare gem, that Mr. Ajayi. Thank you because you gave him peace of mind at home, and that is why he was able to come out and reflect what he enjoys at home with us on the outside world. So thank you very much, and we'll miss Mr. John Ajayi. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we please have Mr. Lekon Otufoduri, MD Media Development Network. Right after him, Mr. Kelechi Nwosu. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I want to join in condoling with the family of our beloved colleague. On December 3rd, last December, I felt an urge to send a message to Ajayi. I sent a message to him and he said he was fine. A few days later, I got a message from Father Gregory in Abeokuta that we lost him. The connection between the two is that I've known John over the years, but in my work as a media trainer, there is no organization that has asked me to come and train the staff back to back since COVID, even though we are colleagues. He kept inviting me every year. We do the training. He will pay me what even other people will not pay me. That is the strength of somebody who is very supportive of the work they do. Why? I'm not a Catholic, but each year they have the communication day in Abeokuta. He always asks that I should go and speak there. I've gone there twice or thrice to speak. That is the power of connection that he built. I just want to join in praying that the Lord will continue to keep the family. His spirit will rest in peace. And two lessons for journalists that I see here is that is a man who veered out from an organization where he was working and he focused on a niche. Many of us are too quick to run away from what we want to do. He drew down and has made a success for it. And I pray that his soul will continue to rest in peace. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Otufoduri. Can we please have Mr. Kelechi Nwosu, MD TVWA Concept. Right after that, I'll be inviting Akogun Tokumbo Mudupe of TPC International Public Relations. Please get ready. Please put your hands together for Mr. Nwosu. The time starts now, 2 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. First, condolences to the Ajayi family, Madam and the children. Please accept our condolences. And condolences also to the larger Marketing Edge and Media Edge family. Please accept our condolences. It's a loss to all of us. Chief Ajayi is passing on. Let's give him the proper honor. When they asked me when I was coming in how I remembered him, there are a couple of adjectives that I told the guy. Humility, and I think chairman of the board mentioned that he's humble, normal person. Intellectual curiosity, he will pursue, he will ask, without making too much noise, without making too much fuss. He was calm while he was expanding what he was doing. And he was a passionate builder and supporter of the marketing communication industry. I think everything that has been said about him tonight is absolutely true. It's not in those cases where people die and people manufacture all sorts of stories. Everything that's been said is absolutely true. Actually, I don't have a lot more to add, except to say very simply, he was a very good man.
Simple. He was a very good man. And I will stand and support everybody who has said his legacy as in marketing and marketing edge, we should not let it die. That's what we owe him. May his gentle soul rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Akogo TPT International. Thank you very much.
And after that, Dr. Rotimi Olaniye, please get ready.
Good evening, everyone. I also like to condole the family, not just his immediate family, but the marketing head family and the entire marketing communication industry. I met John about 31 years ago when I was, a client of mine was about launching a product. I recall Xerox copier, and he was introduced to me by his colleague Ajayi. He had just taken over from another gentleman, Chidi Uzo, who started the column, and John was desperate to make a success of it. He not only supported, he did follow up. The name of his publication is Marketing Edge, but I want to say that his edge in journalism is reporting. John will not only take a material from you, he will follow up. He would like to do an extensive story. And I believe that curiosity expanded his scope, and what he has made of his practice today is based on that passion. I just want to join others in saying that we miss him, there's no doubt about it, and the industry will miss him. Some have said there won't be a vacuum. There will be a vacuum. There will never be another John. We can only try to see how we can raise the bar, but John we will miss. Rest in peace, John. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Akokun Tokunbo Modupe. Ladies and gentlemen, back to back, please let's welcome Dr. Rotimi Olaniye as he comes for a tribute to Asiwaju John Ajayi. While Mr. Rahim Akingbolu gets ready. Thank you for sticking to the 2 minutes. We appreciate it.
Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My condolences to Asiwaju's family. This is indeed a very difficult moment for an industry, for an ecosystem. Listening to what everyone has said here, I can only re-echo this. He lent voices to people. He created brands in individuals as much as he did in ventures. And John Ajayi was not just that. Let me very quickly, within the 2 minutes or less, speak about 3 instances where he made a massive impression on me. The first, interestingly, was in a scenario where we served on the committee, which was that's the Advan Awards. And he was actually one of the nominees or one of the entrants for Brand Journalists of the Year. Interestingly, I served, I think, as the chairman of that group, and you were with us, and if I remember correctly, Mrs. Oke. And unfortunately, he did not win that award. Now, how do you explain to a man of that stature and that caliber that unfortunately, you did not win this award? But I would never forget the interaction we had on that day. The humility with which he spoke to me about it, the acceptance, but more importantly, the fact that he said, the most important thing is that you guys did a good job. And that stood with me. The second was actually a more personal scenario where some years ago I actually contested for the presidency of the National Institute of Marketing and lost. Interestingly, he was on the team of the other side. But what I will never forget was that about towards the end of the tenure of the previous president, Mr. Chief Ajayi called me and asked me, "Are you not going to serve? You should serve." And I said to him, "No, sir, this is done." And he said, "Well, that's going to be a loss." But what struck with me, what hit me was the fact that this gentleman is able to come back and try to find continuity. The last point I'm going to make about
Chief Ajayi, is that in a country where there is a lot of lack of integrity, I am yet to find a man who has distinguished himself with that level of integrity. So, Chief Ajayi, may you rest in peace. You will be remembered.
Ladies and gentlemen, please can we put your hands down for Dr. Rotimi one more time. Thank you for those kind words. Back to back, we'd like to have Mr. Rahim Akingbolu on speak for 2 minutes while Mr. Bengadenka gets ready.
Sorry, good evening. I will not be going to other areas that have been touched. I'm talking of behalf of young men and women that John groomed. I belong to that school. If there is school of John Ajayi School of Journalism, I think I'm qualified to be a captain in that school. Thank you very much. When I was in the Nation newspaper, and I joined in paper news, even national interest. When I wrote then, my editors and colleagues would think I was in the industry 10 years before, because they didn't know that there was somebody somewhere feeding me. A day before my production, I will go to John Ajayi. This is my story for tomorrow. This is my story for next week. And John will school me very well. If I wrote it well, John will call me, good, you have done very well, fantastically well. But if otherwise, he will tell you, go and check John Danobi, Akiadewaku, they wrote better story than you. You understand? So John can be very, very progressive. And that's one thing, please, I want us to take it home. John groomed us, he loved people to grow, and he will contribute his quota. May his soul rest in perfect peace.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rahim. You've done very well, very, very well. And on that note, I'd like to welcome Mr. Bengadenka the first. Please give him a round of applause as he comes to speak. While Mr. Akin Adeola gets ready.
Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I met my brother John Ajayi as a young student of English at the University of Lagos, and our relationship has progressed since then. Every time he calls me, we'll go great Akokite. He's somebody who never forgets or forgot where he came from, a good friend, a man of great humane cordiality, and somebody that a lot of us can learn from. May his soul rest in perfect peace, and may God console his family. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome Mr. Akin Adeola as he comes forward, the proprietor of Hotel 1960 and group publisher M2. I think I saw him earlier. Okay. So we move to Mr. Bolaji Okusaba. Is Mr. Bolaji still with us, please? Mr. Bolaji Okusa. Okay, thank you. Please give me a round of applause. We're almost done, trust me.
Just to say a few words, you know, I have known Mr. Ajayi since the days when I ran Quadrant. I know even before then, when I used to be in the banking industry, as one very curious person who did his job without all of the glitz and glamour. He just loved his job and he committed his life to it. Little wonder then why we are today gathered and paying tribute to this quintessential gentleman who has made the marketing sphere in Nigeria a much more beautiful place. And I know, like people have said, there will be no replacement for him because everybody will tread their own path. So it's so sad to lose him, and I can only console the family, the madam and the children. Your father's legacy will speak for you. Because indeed he's built a lot of lives, he's built a lot of businesses. We mourn his exit, and we believe that you guys will continue to harvest the good works that he has done. Rest in peace, Chief John Ajayi. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Earlier on I called him, but I learned he stepped out. He's back in. Please help me welcome once again. He has gone out again. I'm sure he's trying to ensure that everything goes well. Now, for those of us that know Ajayi very well, he's an all-rounder man, 360 like you've described him. So I'll be bringing someone from Abeokuta because Ajayi happens to be the chairman of Catholic Media Practitioners Abeokuta Diocese, and we have one of their representatives here to speak about him. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mrs. Stella Sawyer, all the way from Abeokuta.
Mrs. Stella Sawyer from Abeokuta. Right after that, we'll be inviting Mr. Shini Adesu. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm standing here just I'm not going to say I'm not sad that we've lost a great man, but I'm also going to say I'm grateful that we had Otumba John Ajayi. When he was made the chairman of the Catholic Media Practitioner of Abeokuta Diocese, he actually raised the bar. This is one man that has never asked us to pay 1 naira every year. Between May and June, we always have this Catholic World Communication Sunday, and single-handedly, he will sponsor the feeding. He will sponsor bringing people, journalists from Lagos to Abeokuta. That Sunday, that particular Sunday where we celebrate the World Communication Sunday, and he will insist that the family follows him. Thank you, sis. Thank you, auntie. Thank you, because for over 3 years, when he became the chairman, she has always been there, and with Buki too, they've always been in attendance, and he will make sure that they, physically serve everyone in attendance. I want to stand to say thank you for the life you have lived. Thank God that you have a husband to be proud of. And I want to thank you especially for being there for him. It's not just about him. It's because he had a strong woman, someone who is supportive of what he believed in. So I'm standing here on behalf of the Catholic Media Practitioner of Abeokuta Diocese to say a big thank you to you. And like the bishop said, his legacy will live on. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sawyer. Please, I'd like to invite Mr. Shini Adetu. Mr. Shini Adetu, former MD Guinness Nigeria and Ogilvy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First, I'm so happy that I was able to make this because I was, you can imagine how I was jumping traffic from VI to be here for my brother, John Ajayi. I want to say that, let me just see my sister here. I want to say that I've known Chief John Ajayi on different grounds. When I was running the business from the client side at Coca-Cola, I supported him, we worked together. When I moved to the side of the agency, owning my agency, we worked together. 3 words I want to say, I've heard 2 since I came about 10 minutes ago, so I want to expand on that. A lot of people have talked about humility. I still say is unbelievably humble. Second thing that I've heard people say is integrity. I attest to that. Like I said, I've worked with him on 2 sides. Sometimes I've even tried him to see how he would behave, and integrity was number 1. But the word that I've not heard, at least in 10 minutes, maybe what was said before I came, was selflessness. I think that if he was not selfish, he'd probably be 10 times richer than he was at the time he left us. I think what I saw about him was just about giving to people. And I used to say to him, what kind of human being are you? You don't need to even cheat to be rich. I think he wanted to be rich in enriching people. And I think that's the way I see him as he has departed. There's an event I'm hosting towards the end of the month. Just when we set out the safety date, he responded, it's still about the selflessness, and he said, to tell my PA, tell Otumba, there's no way I can come alone. I need 3 other invitation cards from my staff. Everything is about staff, clients and all that. Exactly 2 days later was when he said, he passed. My PA came to me 2 days before then to say this is what Chief Ajayi is saying. I said, yeah, I'm not surprised. That's him. It's always about people. 2 days later, there's a lady that works with me, Nikki Ajayi, came in and said, this happened. My sister, only God knows everybody's time. God has called him, and I believe it was to a better him. I pray to God that he will be with you. I pray that he will strengthen you.
I pray that he will not depart you. People are saying that there will be no vacuum. There will be a vacuum, like somebody said. It's really all the efforts that we have to make. As friends, I was so glad I didn't have your number. I didn't have the number of one or two people that would do, because all of my life it was him I was working. So I kept calling his number, hoping that somebody would pick it, because I wanted to get to know where things will happen and how I could support. My only two way as sorry, it's automated, it's not us. When you travel 2 hours, come and tell me that 2 minutes is enough. Anyway, I want to say honestly, in any way we can support, we're more than happy to support. But stay strong and God will be with you. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Amen.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adeto. Now we can finally have Mr. Akin Adeoya, publisher of M2, Mr. Akin Adeoya, and right after that we'll have Pastor Femi Adeimano, representing Unilag alumni. Mr. Akin Adeoya, you will speak for only 40 seconds. Because I called you twice, you were not available, so we are reducing your time. This is actually the third time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First, let me express my own profound sadness about what has happened. I cannot confess to be composed enough to speak about John in the past tense, so it was not an easy decision to come up here and make a speech. And I think most of what needs to be said has been said, but like I need to express my condolence directly to the family and to ask them to stay strong, like everybody has said. The biggest thing, or the most important thing I'd like to say, is that every effort must be put in place to ensure that his legacy, his life work, is preserved beyond this moment. Because what happens during moments like this is everybody gets together to do a big funeral. But I think the real credit that we can do to him, the best thing that we can do for his memory, is to ensure that his work continues to live on. Marketing Edge is a great magazine, it's a great publication. It's on all platforms, and it has the possibility of even getting bigger. And I hope and pray that everybody in the industry, everybody who has come here to speak, will put action behind those things. Once again, John has been my friend for 35 years. We met in these days, collaborated on a lot of very important projects. And he was a very strong-willed person. His greatest strength was his consistency. His staying power, his never say die spirit. His loyalty to his friends, family, his inner strength, which I admire. But most importantly, his consistency. I don't think I even come close to seeing any of us who has that level of consistency. And that's why you have been able to build what he built. I thank God for his life. I think let you also give me a second. I think what is important is for those of us who remain alive to continue to do the right thing and to ensure that we support his legacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Femi Adeimano.
I represent the Alumni Association of Unilag Arts and Education of 92 sets. Ajayi actually was a member of our board of trustees, and he significantly contributed towards the growth of our group. Ajayi actually was a team player who always solved problems. Occasionally, whenever we have tough issues, one way or the other, he will actually come up with ideas that will solve the problem. The student one day actually requested that we supported them. And then Ajayi came up with the fact that this thing has to be sustained. We can assist you now, but it has to be sustained. But don't worry, I am going to actually help in a way that we can introduce you to brands that will take up the responsibility. And the lady was just telling me that was exactly what he did.
introducing the students to brands that actually assisted them in their project. Personally, Ajayi was a friend. We started together in Unilag, and then we went to the same school of journalism at Olda. And so I saw resilience in him, a dependable friend. And I know that we are already missing him. Before I came here, Joke Silva, you know, who was actually the chairperson of our alumni association, of the board, actually made a statement that we were 7 on this team. And I reminded her that we are now 6. He said, really? We've lost one of us. We are already missing Ajayi, but we know that the legacy he left behind will be sustained. We are with the family, and the Lord is with you.
Amen. Thank you very much, Pastor. Ladies and gentlemen, trust me, we're almost done. We just had 3 more, then we take the acknowledgement and we proceed. Ladies and gentlemen, from his estate, please help me welcome the chairman, Jeddah Ayopo. Is our chairman still with us? Chairman, please. You're welcome. Please give me a round of applause from the home front. While the chairman, Ajayi Foundation, please get ready as well.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, a lot of time has gone, and a lot of people have spoken well about our friend Asiwaju John Ajayi. A lot of tributes, particularly from his colleagues in the marketing and public relations sector. But for us in the estate, we live together as neighbors, as co-residents, where Ajayi lived for almost about 18 years now. Since he came to the estate around that time, 2008, we stuck together and we've done many things together as colleagues, as friends, shaping policies in the estate and forging alliances, political alliances in the estate. Ajayi was the chairman of the estate from 2014 to 2018. And within that period of time, he did a lot of phenomenal things. A lot of developmental strides were introduced by him. Most especially the establishment of the Journalist Estate International School, which he founded during his time. And a lot of products have graduated from that school. Of course, as a human being, he has his own issues, foibles. Most times we disagree on some issues, but you will find out, even if you disagree with Ajayi, one thing is very consistent with him is his passion for development. And if Ajayi disagree with you on an issue, you can bet that in a couple of days after, you will come together. Ajayi in the estate was a peace-loving man. He kept a lot of friends in the estate. So much so that when the news broke that Asiwaju John Ajayi has passed, it's as if the world of the journalist estate has literally stood still, because a lot of activities have been suspended automatically because of him. And that's to tell you about the kind of impact he made in the estate. We will all miss him, and we have been missed. We have been missing him since he left, and a lot of us have been visiting the home. But what is important is that he left legacies in the estate which must be sustained. And it's a lesson for all of us that anywhere we live, we must make peace with all men, as the Bible has said. And because that's where we stand well for us, even when we may have gone. That is part of what I remember Ajayi for. In the estate, a lot of people are talking about him, and it's because of the kind of life he lived, the kind of impact he made in the life of people in the estate. As I said, we are missing him. We'll continue to miss him because his is a big vacuum for the estate. I just pray that Almighty God will keep him wherever he is, and the Almighty God will ensure that he is kept to the bosom of God as he goes. May his soul rest in peace. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Please put your hands together for him. Ladies and gentlemen, the last before the list, please can we welcome the founder and group CEO, First Primus West Africa. Please help me welcome Mr. Sheni Adetu. Okay, so let's go to Chairman Ajayi Foundation. Mr. Sheni has come. Sorry, I have a double list. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
And we'll be taking a group photograph after the final tribute, so please stay back to be a part of it. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I'm standing here to represent the Ajayi members foundation who are in Nigeria and abroad. The Ajayi Foundation was established during the tenure of Ajayi John Ajayi, during one of the New Year party we held in the estate. Group of friends who are like minds sat under a particular tree in the floor of the party, and then Ajayi Foundation was formed. And since then, Ajayi John Ajayi has been a very loyal, trusted, dependable member of the group. In fact, he likes us flocking around him to the extent that there will be no event that Ajayi will undertake that Ajayi will not be giving prominence. Talk of church events, marketing awards program, we have our own table. That was Ajayi for everybody. And Ajayi, since his passage, our platform has been so passive. We didn't know what to write, we didn't know the jokes, we didn't know the banters to throw. Because when Ajayi was alive, our platform was always active. He would throw banters at one person or the other that will cause everybody to laugh and break your chest. Ajayi was so humble and so much respected among our members. We miss Ajayi, although we give thanks and appreciate God in all things. But our pains remains that we were planning to travel to Ijon to warm his house, which is architectural masterpiece, and to really celebrate the title Asiwaju indeed. But this never came to pass. We planned to go there and enjoy ourselves, not to go and bury Ajayi. So at that we say, Ajayi, sleep on. May your soul rest in peace, and may God keep on to comfort the family members, friends, and relations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the MD new priest, Mr. Jose, as he comes forward for 120 minutes.
Good evening, all. First of all, I'm happy to be here. I just came from Abuja. I had a 12 o'clock flight, but you know what it is, they flew us by 5. But to the family of Ajayi, madam, the good God we serve will grant you the peace, your family, and will take care of you. John was a great friend of mine. So much should be spoken, but it's a quiet night tonight. So all I can say extra is that we should support what he's worked for. The last time I was in his office, they tried to show me the new things about to do, the dream of the place and all that. The best that we can do for him is support that establishment. We will as a company, and I hope that the rest will. Thank you very much. God bless all of us. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you for flying down. Despite the 5 hours delay, you still made it here. We pray that you return safe and sound in Jesus' name. We have a very, very intimate friend of the family. We're all friends of family as well, but we would like to call on Mr. Ayo Oloshin to come and speak briefly before we go to acknowledgement. Ladies and gentlemen, please give him a round of applause as he steps forward. Thank you very much.
Good evening, all. I know time is well spent, but I said that I'm something. All the things about said about John are true. All the good things. The side of it that everybody enjoys. John was a very good friend.
what I enjoy, what I miss most about him now is the laughter, the jokes we used to have. Yeah, he was just somebody you wanted to be around with. He was so funny, fun-loving. That was just, apart from his seriousness about his work and about his calling, about his practice, which also he rubbed on us friends as well. If you felt that, look, you mastermind, you're not doing this, well, he will talk to you, even as a friend. He was the only person I made a director of my company. I don't even tell him, I just draw papers to him, sign off. So it was like that. He was always accommodating, loving, and kind to a fault, generous to a fault. I really have not had any friend like that in a while, and I'm proud, to be his friend. I made his friend even in death. Please, madam and the children, please, God will be with you. It's very, very emotional, and I know that God has given you strength now, and will continue to be with you, to eternity. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That is the final tribute. We'll take group photographs with the family, his wife and children, and everyone is free to join. I'd like to invite Mr. Dotsu for acknowledgements and vote of thanks. Mr. Dotsu, please. So the wife and children will sit and we can join them to take pictures, just standing right behind them, right after the acknowledgement by Mr. Dotsu. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my purpose here today is to celebrate John. I'm not going to promote John. John lived on the face of the earth for 62 years. And for me, John was an achiever. In my simplistic mind, I tried to rationale why John left us. And I thought, okay, on December 10th, the Almighty God came looking for a veteran journalist, and he settled for John Ajayi and took him. God is sovereign. We cannot question him. But I'll tell you something. John is sitting in a cubicle somewhere with the Almighty God because God needed him, and he's writing different marketing proposals. And I'm telling you that's a fact. John was very hardworking. If you come across John, he will touch your life with value. There's nobody who had worked with John who will say that John has not touched his life. He had his own faults, like every one of us. But the biggest thing that has touched us in the business is that when you come into the office, the first thing you ask is, "Shey John today?" Whether his car is there or not, the first thing you ask is, "Shey John today?" John day or John no day, John's presence is always there. John is the person that will send you a message at 3 a.m. in the middle of the night and expect you to respond. It sounds funny. It may sound funny, but that's the way he takes his business. Those of us who have had the privilege to work with him know that he's very optimistic and he will never take no for an answer. Today, as a business, as marketing head and media head, we're not mourning him, we're celebrating him. Yes, 62 years. In 62 years of living, he has achieved. In 62 years of living, he has left his footprint in the sands of time.
In 62 years of living, we're not sure that those of us who are alive can feel into his shoes. Because if we are going on marketing, John will deliver at least 45% of your marketing target, leaving the balance for you. Today I want to thank God for his life. Today I want to thank God for impacting people like us. Today I want to thank God for the legacy he left behind and the assurance which I will give you that those of us who are left behind in marketing edge and media edge will carry forward that legacy along with the family. I want to thank you for those who have been part of this journey. Different levels of clients, FMCGs, the government, financial industries, the oil and gas, across all sectors of the business who have been with us. Agencies, PR businesses, every part of the marketing communications business. And I want to assure you that John's legacy will not die, because he has left people behind who will carry the legacy forward. I will assure you that yes, John may not be physically with us, but his memory lives on, and we will sure project that memory even beyond what he can do. Thank you very much for being part of this history. Thank you very much for being part of our history. Thank you very much for your presence here. And we're living with the assurance that his legacy will not die. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dotun. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we have some quick announcements to remind us, just in case some of us do not have an access to the e-flyer. By tomorrow, 5 p.m., we'll be meeting at Journalist Estate Phase 1 for the service of songs. 5 p.m. at Journalist Estate. The next day, which is 15th, we'll be having the wake-up at Chief Ajayi's country home, opposite General Hospital, Ajayi. For as many that would like to travel, I believe there will be plans for travel arrangements. Also, while on the 16th, we have the funeral mass at St. James Catholic Church, Ajayi, by 11 a.m. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And I'd like to invite Mrs. Ajayi, the darling wife for the legend that we're celebrating, and their children to please take their seats. And we can please join them. Let me single out Mrs. Bumi Oke for being here from the very beginning to the end. We appreciate your sacrifice of time. Please join them for a photograph. We can take turns randomly in no particular order. Just stand behind they're sitting and take pictures with them as you please. If you want to do it alone, and if you want to do it in a group, please. Thank you. Let's have some music as this goes on. Hold on, please hold on. So that we can take it in batches. Yes, we can take it in batches. Alright, come on, sir. We can take it in batches. Let's do this one first, and then you can join. Just hold on, okay? Please hold on. Sir, please hold on, sir. Sir, please hold on. Thank you. Alright, you can please join it. Take up that space, sir. Alright. Well, this is the first picture. Everybody say John. Everybody say Ajayi. Everybody say Edge. Everybody say Legend. Thank you very much. Can we have another batch of people? Another batch, please. Sorry, can you have another batch, please? Another batch of people, please. Thank you very much for coming. We'll take the photo sessions in batches. Everybody say Ajayi. Everybody say Arepo. Everybody say Abegi. Everybody say Unilag. Everybody say Marketing Edge. Everybody Catholic Society. Thank you very much. The next set of people, please. Next set of people.
set of people. All staff of Marketing Edge Group, please get ready. You are coming next. All staff of Marketing Edge, the publication, awards, TV, and all platforms, please get ready. We're taking this at the count of 10, 9, 8. Sir, please, you can do that later, sir. Please. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thank you very much. Thank you. All the staff of Marketing Edge, all the staff of Marketing Edge, okay, all the staff of Marketing Edge, all the staff of Marketing Edge, please. Okay, go on. The Marketing Edge, Anete, Mr. Benson, okay, Rob, okay. Mr. Anete, Mr. Benson, Mr. Rob is there, right? Please close in. Marketing Edge staff, please get ready. You are coming next time. Okay, stop. Alright, Marketing Edge staff, please quickly. We're doing this at the count of MARKETINGE. Everybody say straight down today. Is John in the office? Wow, Johnny. Media, let's go. Okay. Marketing Edge staffs. Thank you. The family. Are we ready? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Can we have another set? Please come batch. Another batch, please. I beg the Jordan, more family friends, those from Ajayi. Marketing Edge Extra. Okay, let's go. Marketing Edge Extra. That's the way it came to my head. So maybe that's a new venture. Marketing Edge Extra. Marketing Edge Pro Max. Pro Max. Marketing Edge Pro Max. Let's go. We're celebrating the legend. Auntie Alpha, now only you are back. This is Marketing Edge Foundation.
My name is Emmanuel Ajufo.
How would you describe the late Chief John Ajayi?
Well, where do I start from? He's a jolly good fellow. He's a guy that believes in hard work. He's a professional to the core. He is resilient. He is focused. These are many more. He is.
Now, his legacies that he has built, how do you think it can be sustained in the industry?
I hope it will, because when you talk about this area of marketing communication, it's a pace setter. And since it happened, all I have been saying to myself is that I hope there's a structure that can continue with what he has done. And seeing people like you, I hope that truly that his vision and what he has brought to this area of our ecosystem will even grow beyond what he has done. I think it will be the biggest legacy for what he has brought to life to grow more than what he has left.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
And I think the inspiration will be for us to share some of the nuggets, for there to be a lot of workshops about what he stood for, what his values were, what his progress was. I think Marketing Edge should actually have a workshop on the legends and legendary contribution of John Ajayi to this industry that so many can learn from. And I think people will go and he'll smile from heaven. Because I think the most important thing is the learning curve. Everybody knows they have a time on earth, but we also don't know how long. So I think whatever assignment, he's done it so well. That is why I made up my mind I'll be here personally. And God has given me the grace to be here.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Your name, sir?
Akonte Ekine.
In what ways do you remember the late Chief John Ajayi?
I think in many ways. I remember him first and foremost as a writer of campaign in the newspaper, you know. Every other day, if you don't read a campaign page, back then you've not heard what's happening in the industry. And John was one of the foremost writers of campaign, you know, back then. So I know him that as a writer. Then interestingly, I also know his very, very friendly side. In many evenings that we will come together and we will start talking about work, how he has finished one deadline, there's another deadline. So I think I know him as a very, very committed person to almost everything he's doing, almost everything. You know, there were periods people would say, this thing is tough. You won't even hear anything like that from him. He will just slide through the entire process and then you will see results. You know.
Aside that, what fond memories do you have about him personally aside work?
Okay, so interestingly, every other time we've met, it's all about work. That's the funny side of it. Even when we went out, in fact, he made me to know Oregon. You will not believe it. I work at Joel Ogunaike, and I never been to Oregon. One day he came to the office and he said, I will take you to somewhere so that we can sit down and pour your heart down for me on this matter that is happening. And he brought me to somewhere in Oregon, you know. I don't want to promote another person's listening. Brought me there and we sat there for 2 hours. He was listening to me extensively and I was talking and at the end of the day he said, are you okay? I said yes. He said just relax. Take your drink and then when we are through we go home, you know. So it's just for me, in fact, honestly, until this thing happened, I seem like an elder in many ways. I didn't know that he's still relatively young, you know, because he's always there, willing to hear you, and he had so much, you know. Even before he started the marketing edge, our relationship was that long back then. But when you talk about fun, I see him as a workman. You know, it's always a workman. If you call him in the morning, back then there is no phone. But if you have an appointment somewhere at 7 a.m., if you can't find people that are there before 7 a.m., he's one of them. You know, that's how I see him. So I know his work side more than his maybe. But he's also a jovial person though when you have the time to see him. But I'm not one of those people that are privileged because it's work that we did together. And we did a good set of jobs together. You know.
Thank you very much, sir.
My name is Bola Ashaolu. I'm a lawyer.
What fond memories do you have of late John Ajayi?
John Ajayi is my best friend. We lived together in the estate. What I remembered John Ajayi for is he is a straightforward human being, a man of impeccable character. Whatever he believes in, he will forge ahead and execute it. He's a real person.
Thank you very much, sir.
Hi, my name is Udeme Ufot. I'm Group Managing Director of S1U.
How would you describe the impact of late John Ajayi in the industry?
Chief John Ajayi is a man I would very aptly describe as an Ashiwaju of the marketing comms industry when it comes to marketing journalism. At the time that he and some of his colleagues started, I remember clearly that there were two personalities when it came to publishing in the era of marketing communications, and that was himself, John Ajayi, and Akin Adeoya. And they established that very reputable page in this day where they did not just practice journalism, but they raised the practice of advertising and generally marketing communications in Nigeria to new levels of awareness, which helped to draw respect and recognition for the industry. I would always say any day that John Ajayi contributed significantly to the growth of marketing communications in Nigeria and to the respect that the industry enjoyed. And we'll be ever grateful to him for what he did for the industry.
My name is Kelechi Nwosu. I work as CEO of TBWA Concept.
Walking in here this evening, what memories of late Chief John Ajayi resonates?
There are a couple of adjectives that come to my mind when it comes to John. He's quite humble. He was understated in the right things, and he was quite intellectual in the right things in terms of marketing and marketing communications. He always exuded. He wanted to learn a lot. He was a calm person, and he was a gentleman. Those are the things that I remember about him.
Now, He's left Marketing Edge. He's left the industry, the sector as a whole.
Sure.
What thoughts do you have on your mind concerning Marketing Edge and concerning the industry as a whole? How can this vacuum be filled?
It can be filled. He built an institution, I believe, with Marketing Edge. So there are points that are, how do you put it? There are sort of notable points that he did create with his team. And I'm certain that his team is capable enough to continue where he stopped. I don't think it could be the end for Marketing Edge. I believe that he built a strong institution and with strong values, with a strong ambition in covering, looking at our marketing industry. And I'm sure that they'll be willing to push the envelope forward. And some of us have been around, of course, to support wherever we can, to criticize where we need to criticize, but it'll be difficult to fill his shoes because he's the founder, and he was. So, but I think the values, the vision that he laid out should be easy for the team that he has worked with for a long time to pursue. That's what I think.
I'm Dr. Rotimi Olanio.
How do you remember late Asiwaju John Ajayi?
I've had many years of a professional relationship with him. He was a man who was extremely passionate about marketing journalism. And in many ways, I think he was such an important anchor of the marketing industry. Reputation management, brand management, and more importantly, storytelling is an important aspect of marketing. But also being able to establish who the leading lights were, recognizing them, and particularly the efforts, efforts over time was extremely important to the growth of this industry. I remember him as a kind man, a very thoughtful man. There were one or two times in the past where I had some challenges, let's put it professional challenges, and he reached out to me and gave me quite a lot of moral support, good words of advice and encouragement. He didn't need to, but I remember him for that. I remember him also for in many ways, the people who he has trained. A lot of people passed through him, John Ajayi, and we shall miss him. We will really, really miss him, and God knows best.
Thank you, sir. In what ways do you remember the late John Ajayi?
In different ways. Number one is a friend. He's a friend that we've shared memories of over 2 decades. So I can tell you that he's a friend. I have a one-on-one personal relationship with him. I have official relationship with him. I have both formal and informal relationship with him. So he's a good man. He's a man that is down to earth. He comes straight to you. Even when you have issues, he's a humble, very, very, very humble man, because he doesn't look at it from the side that I'm older than you, or no, he doesn't force down his position down people's throats. And when we disagree, we still come back to say, okay, can we revisit the issue? So I've had different, I can tell you different version of him, but in all, he's a good man.
A vacuum has been left in the industry. How would you advise the industry to navigate the way forward?
It is a tough one, and this is not what the industry also planned for. So because of that, my position now is that the vacuum in terms of his publication, his contribution to the industry, from the publication point of view, I think Marketing Edge at this time needs prayer, needs support, because sustenance is very, very important. So how do we move on the legacy of John Ajayi so that it does not come to an end with him? So that's huge. In terms of contribution to the industry, is going to be a big one. No, he facilitates at different fora. We still talking about some industry initiative that we are saying that, okay, can we work around this? So his contribution is going to be very, very huge. Because for somebody to be able to step into his shoe, he must possess his character. It's a difficult task to find somebody that sits and suits his position.
Thank you very much, sir.
Wow. Late Chief John Ajayi, the Aṣáájú of Ije-Ekiti, is my very good brother. We were born by the same parents. I was his immediate junior brother. So we grew up together. He made me. He tutored me. He moderated me. He was my hero. He was my hero. He did everything to make sure that I became a successful man. And today I'm made, but it was by the grace of God and his support. I will forever miss him because he has been everything to me. My brother teach me how to fish. He made good result out of me. My brother is a result-oriented person. My brother did not believe in efforts, but in results. He's very, very workaholic. And he taught me so many things. I'm grateful to him because he imparts useful things in me. He made me realize myself. So I forever miss him anyway, but I thank God for his life. It's not how long, but how well my brother has actually lived, and his legacies can never be forgotten. May his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. I'm Honorable Ajayi Oluwadamilare, Executive Chairman, Monyi Local Council Development Area, Ekiti State.
Generally, intentional, impactful, diligent, intelligent. Overall, it was loving. I can't do this with you right now because you have tears in your eyes, and now I have tears in my eyes too. Okay. I always call my dad my sugar daddy because he always came through for me, especially all the times that I never reached out to him because growing up I've just learned to try and do some things myself, so I would hardly reach out to ask for things directly, especially when I was in school. I had a pattern and a technique. I didn't used to ask for money, but my daddy always made sure to call me at intervals. Oh, Bukola, do you have money? I'm like, I still have small. You don't have. You send to me. Or when I have, I'm like, don't worry, I have. You'll still send to me. Something my daddy always did. If you tell him you need 30,000, you send you 50,000. He will never send you the amount that you claim that you need. My father was very intentional. He was very outgoing. He was very hardworking. He was an impactful person, and that's why I also would love to be an impactful person myself. He was very helpful. We hear tonight how he has helped shape the industry to become better and become greater, and truly has left a very big shoe, very big role to fill. And I know that with the help of God, we'll be able to fill this role and fill this position, right? Yes, I think these are all the things I can say.
What are the personal lessons for you that you want to sustain as part of growing up within your career?
Okay, so like I said, one thing is to be impactful. Because of how impactful it was, I pledged myself and promised myself to always partake in every impactful, innovations and activities in my career going forward. I want to be as hardworking as he was. He was indeed a workaholic. He would wake up by 2 a.m. and find him working, and he would tell you, "Olubukola, I could not sleep, so I just woke up. Let me just finish that story." And he would still not go back to bed and still wake up and go to work, come back very late at night, eat his food, and still get on his phone to edit some stories. That's the type of person he was. He was always working and always looking out for others. And I think one thing I learned about him in these last few days that I spent with him was that my father hated public sympathy. He wants a lot of people. He doesn't want public sympathy. He wants to, feel what he feels, get over with it, and move on with life, and also help everybody around him. And something about my father is he was a disciplinarian. Like, how could I leave that out? He disciplined everybody, his family members, his children, his staff, everybody around him, and this was just for one reason. That's because he wanted good and better for everybody. So he would always call you out, when you're not doing the right thing, push you towards the right path. He was indeed a leader. My father was the chairman of our estate, and that's been a while, right, since 2016. But till today, right, till the day that he left us, people will still come to our house and chairman, come and help us solve this problem, come and help us solve that problem. How many years? Like over 10 years now, and they're still coming to you as, the chairman. It just shows the kind of person that he is. I could go on and on and on about how intentional, disciplined, impactful, loving, caring, great that my father is. But so I'll just stop here. Thank you so much.
When I think of Mr. John Ajayi, I will remember being passionate about anything you are doing, because he was somebody that put all his passion, his energy, his resources, human, monetary, material, into anything he has to do. He will remind me of excellence, because his cliche is always that you aim at perfection. But because we are human, we may not attain perfection, but you cannot land below excellence if you aim at perfection. These are the things that he impacted my life with. He is somebody from whom I learned to be courageous about anything you choose or you are convinced to do. He is a leader that leads from the front. He wouldn't just be giving you orders and directives. What he's telling you to do, he's already doing. So you yourself will admit to yourself that you are left with no excuse. And he's somebody who could be very vehement about anything he's saying. He set out to say or to do. So much so that some of the time, if he's talking about something that was of interest to you, you would think he was angry or he was fighting. With appropriate gestures that will show you strength, vitality, and that might even intimidate you, thinking that this guy is mad at me. And he could actually be mad at you. I will not hide the fact that he was mad at you if he was. But the next moment, once you got his message and you made the necessary adjustments, you become friends again. He becomes his soft self, his jovial self, his kind and humane self again. So he's I call him as I saw him as an enigma, and I've always said that John Ajayi is and will ever be an enigma, to the best of my own knowledge.
Yes, honestly, I have known Mr. Ajayi for some years, worked with him for some years before he passed. It's unfortunate that, I'm talking about his past now. It's so unfortunate because actually when I started with Marketing Edge, when I came into Marketing Edge, Mr. John Ajayi, one thing I can say is that he believed in me. I've said this over and over again, that he believed in me, that I started at the end of that month. But while it was end of the month, Mr. Ajayi paid me in full. I was surprised. I went to him, I said, sir, my salary, you paid me in full. He said, do I think so? I said, yes. He said I should go and work and, work well. And I thank God that, I can say I'm so proud of Mr. John Ajayi, and I can equally say that, and I'm happy, I'm grateful that while he was alive, he was proud of me. I didn't disappoint Mr. John Ajayi. I learned a lot from him as one of his staff. I learned to be hardworking, to think big. He always thought of that, to think big, to work hard, to believe in ourselves, no matter how difficult that task is, to believe that we can do it. I learned that to be dogged. Mr. Ajayi is somebody that can inspire you. Even when you are weak, he can inspire you to go all out. He picked project upon project. There is never a project that Mr. Ajayi picked since I was there with marketing that was failed. Some of the time, I would be afraid. I said, why is it that this man is even at his age, he's even working more than how we, the younger ones, how we work? But this is Mr. Ajayi for you. He believed in hard work. He believed in doggedness. He believed that you put in the hard work, the result will come in. It has pleased God to call him home. There is nothing we can do. I, as a person, I am very pained that Mr. Ajayi is no longer with us here. And as all staff of Marketing Edge, we are so pained. But we thank God that he lived a good life. He's a legend. He's an icon. He lived a good life. So I will say that may the soul of Chief John Ajayi rest in perfect peace.
Yeah, my name is Ralph Tathagata. I'm the managing editor of Marketing Edge. When it comes to words to describe John Ajayi, will I start with resilience? Then I will borrow his own word, avant-garde. Then there is this doggedness, innovative. Okay, doggedness also has to do with never say die. I've never seen someone who could persist in the face of even the most unexpected adversity. No matter how tough the situation is, he will continue. He doesn't give up, and he doesn't take no for an answer when it comes to achieving a particular goal that he has set out to achieve.
Losing someone like Mr. Ajayi, what are some of the things that industry can do to ensure that legacies like this, people like Mr. Ajayi, are also keep having them, they don't die of.
Well, I think the industry has to give their support, and also not just giving their support, but they are giving the support to a legacy that is ongoing. The legacy has not died. In fact, the good news is that the people he left behind, the people that he has actually taught the trade that he practiced, are very capable to carry on with the legacy. So the industry, the IMC industry, shouldn't actually express any doubt to support the brand, because the brand has even more to offer at this moment.
My name is Uduak Basis, MD Plural Media. John Ajayi was a very dear friend of mine. When I heard the news of his passing, I was truly, truly shocked, because this was a man that quite selfless, as has been said by everyone, quite was a humble person. Even was humility personified. He was much older than me, but if he's speaking to me, it will make me feel like, And I would say, sir, please, these accolades are just too much. When it was my birthday at some point, he would take a full 2-page and do a write-up. I mean, sometimes I don't even want to, want my profile out there. And he will just come. By the time I just find the publication, MD, we've written something about you. And I'm like, wow, this man was just about people, investing in people. He said, no, you can't afford to be in the backseat. You have to be here, you have to be there, you have to be that. Look at this investment you've done, you can't keep quiet about it. The world must know about it. And truly, truly, the industry will miss him. And I must say that indeed, may his soul rest in peace. And may God comfort his family. And in particular, the Marketing Edge family. And like everybody has said here, we'll do our best to support this dream.
My name is Ajayi Felix. I'm CEO of Landmarks Out of Home Media Services Limited. May I quickly use this opportunity to express my condolence about the loss of our industry giants. John Ajayi is a lot of things, but one of the things that is biggest in my head when I remember him is his humility. For all intent and purpose, John Ajayi is at the top of this industry at the level of influence. But when he meets with you, for those of us who are upcoming and who rose up in his presence, John is never uppity or high in his management of his conversation with us, and that is very remarkable. I can tell you free of charge that John Ajayi and Marketing Edge has been a very huge leveraging platform for some of us. Through the work that John Ajayi bettered, he's been able to showcase a lot of us individually, as professionals, as we worked our way through the rank, and our businesses as we went into those investments here and there. And I'm a huge beneficiary of Marketing Edge leverage. I can remember while I was still at Capital Media, that later transitioned to Nexus, we had started something quite creative. By the time we finished that work, we agreed that this was not something that needed to be hidden. We sat down with Marketing Edge, and Marketing Edge was represented at the Musa Underpass opportunity, and then on every other time that opportunity came up, and subsequently later on in my career, when I moved into the airport advertising space, John Ajayi did quite a lot for my business, Air Power, in projecting airport advertising post COVID. There's just too much I can say. I mean, recently I made it to the list of fellow, and there was already a conversation going on to profile some of us that have joined the list, and so this came to me as a heavy blow. And to be honest, I have not made any progress with coming forward to be profiled as a fellow, because I'm mourning the passing of John Ajayi. He will have been the perfect platform for this to happen. All I can say is that let's mourn him properly. Let's lay him to rest properly. Then we can revisit all other issues for the sake of humanity. Thank you.
My name is Joshua Ajayi, the founder and CEO of Brand Communicator. Well, the truth is that Mr. John Ajayi actually blazed the trail for all of us. Whatever we do, we actually are following the paths and the foundation laid by him. Mr. John Ajayi is a man of ideas, innovative, passionate about the industry, and I mean, the truth is that he has built something great a great legacy, just like a lot of people have said today, is made a huge impact in the marketing and communication industry. For even us at Brand Communicator, starting whatever we do about 18 years ago, is someone that we looked up to, because these were the people that have done it. They've been there, seen it all before we came into the space. They were people that we learned from the path that they have actually charted. That's really all that you can say about him. He's a great man, innovative. He's made a lot of impact in the lives of a lot of us, and whatever we do today, whatever we are doing, we owe it to God and the trail blazed by this great man. The industry needs to be true to itself in terms of being willing to accept constructive criticism, because in this market where we play, organization will rather that platforms are doing more of image laundry for them and doing just all positive stories. No organization, whether brands or agency, wants you to actually look at some things they may not be doing right. When you do that, they get emotional, they blacklist you, they don't want to do business with you, and all of that. So the industry needs to live beyond emotions and realize that when platforms, brand and marketing platforms, media platforms, when they do constructive stories, when they talk about the things you are doing right and some things that you probably didn't do right that you should improve on, they should be willing and ready to accept it. That way we can build a better industry. But if we continue to be emotional, nobody will be true to anything. Media and marketing and communication media platforms, we just continue to do image laundry because everybody also wants to remain in business. But if the industry is ready for serious journalistic work, then they must be ready to live beyond emotions and realize that when people do some kind of analysis, they don't have anything personal against them. They are actually doing a great work that could help elevate the standard of the practice and for the benefit of the marketing and communication industry.